So you want to do some sewing in 2026? You want to do some DIY to make a DIY comfy home? I am going to tell you exactly what you need to look for in a sewing machine as a beginner. My name is Valerie and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I have 3 sewing machines here, and this is my number 1, my number 2, and my number 3. Not in order of importance, but in order of how I got them, right? This was my first sewing machine. It is a Singer sewing machine. Now, you're not going to go into the store and find a sewing machine like this, right? Because it is like over 30 years old. You may find something like this in a thrift store. Basically, when I started sewing, I just wanted to have a straight stitch and I wanted to be able to do zigzag to finish off those edges, right? And that's basically what we got. Straight stitch and then 3 different phases of zigzag stitches. But one of the things I also liked about this sewing machine is the fact that I could remove this arm here. Yes, I could. Yeah, there we go. It's a bit stiff. It's old. Yeah, but I could remove this arm here if I needed to do something and this area was too wide. And so that is one of the features that I think is so good. Also, it is very compact. It's not massive. It's not on legs. So it is easy to store away. And guess what? One of the things that you want to make sure when you're getting a sewing machine for the first time is that it is easy to thread. So it's easy to get your thread from point A to B and into your needle to be able to sew, because you have some sewing machines that can be pretty complicated when you're stringing the needle. But you want to make sure that when you are beginning and you're buying a sewing machine, if you can get one with a plate that can be removed, that's a good thing. Also, as I said, one that can be easily strung and one that you can easily refill your bobbin, right? Moving on from this one is my number 2, right? One of the things that I liked about this one came, I bought this one in about 2001, thereabout. And I was doing a little more sewing and I was getting so much compliments about my stuff that I was making from my home, and I was encouraged to do it for clients and customers. And so after doing a course in entrepreneurship, I actually decided to get a sewing machine, which I had to take out an installment because didn't have the money to buy it up front. I think the sewing machine was over $2,000 back in the day. It is a Janome XL Pro, and you won't find this in the stores now. It is discontinued. However, it is a very good sewing machine because I've had it, as I said just now, for since about, it's over 20 years, right? And I've only had to service it once. So if you see a Janome XL Pro 5124 in a thrift store, grab it. Or if it's refurbished, grab it, as long as it is mechanically sound, because they are indestructible. It's a very good one. Yeah, one of the things I liked about this is that it came in the case, has the handle that I can easily move it about and then easily just take the case off and put it aside and be able to use the sewing machine. Now it has the pedal just like that one does, and a few more features that it has that you may want to consider when you're buying your first sewing machine. One, On my first sewing machine here, the presser foot here could go yay high and no higher. On my Janome here, I could go high and I could go like it's about an inch high, right? And so I was able to put thicker materials and layers of materials under my needle so I could stitch. I've actually used it to stitch faux leather slip covers like a few times. Yeah, and so a presser foot that can be hoisted a bit higher than the usual is a good thing to have. It also has this little thing back here that I can push in when I'm going over any, say, an area which has a high, kind of like a bump like. I can push this and it can help to go over that bump without breaking the thread and such, right? So that is one thing I liked about it, the height of the presser foot. And this one doesn't have a collar that comes off like this one, but you can actually take this part off. And so it gives you this area so you can pull stuff over it in order to be able to do more detailed work. And this has a little compartment which carries all the attachments, and I put my bobbin, tailor's chalk in here. And so it came with a little screwdriver and a little brush, and the little brush is such that I can easily access under the bottom here. Just take the screwdriver, take the screw off, and get the extra lint out. So you want to be able to do that to help yourself, because you don't want to have to take your sewing machine for service just to get lint out of your sewing machine, right? Because the lint will go into this area here and it can actually affect how your bobbin sits, right? Now another thing that this one has is the plate. The plate on the top here is actually transparent, so I can see my bobbin before it's finished. For one, we have a buttonhole attachment. So this is a good one because all I do is put the button in here and close this right up to the size of the button. And when I do that, I just put it on so I take the straight stitch foot off, I put this on, and then I set my function here to buttonhole. And I basically go ahead and just do my buttonhole. Now it doesn't do it for you. You got to literally use your pedal, right? But it is very convenient. Don't use it a lot. I think it would be more so used if I was doing clothing. But yeah, it's still a very convenient attachment to have. Another thing is this sewing machine. You see all these functions here come with different stitches. Now my first child over here, sewing machine child, came with only the straight stitch and the zigzag. This has zigzag, but it has several other stitch, triple stitch. It has an over edge stitch, and the over edge stitch actually stitches like a serger, so you don't need a serger. And so yeah, the zigzag can actually do a decent job too, but the over edge is pretty convenient. And then for all the stitches on the inside here, I have the different foot, right? So there are different foot inside here. I also have like a zipper foot. Let me just tilt this so you can see all the different foot in here. And then this is where my thread is. But this one too is very easy to thread. So mark my word, guys, as a beginner, you want to get something that's easy to thread and for you to fill your bobbin. This one is easy to fill the bobbin also. You just put your thread here, pull the thread around here, put your bobbin here, put it on the function to fill the bobbin, and then you just go ahead, pedal until your bobbin fills up, and then it will just slow down and you stop. Not only do I have the different foot in here for the different stitches, but this chart here will tell you the tension that each stitch should have, right? And so this is a very good guide. Plus our dial here tells us what number we should put it at for different weight fabric. Like for something very light like a voile or a sheer, you'd put it on number 1, then there is medium, number 2, and number 3. So this is a very good sewing machine. I am very happy with this sewing machine. Yeah, I had to take it out an installment, but it is still very, very, very good. And of course, yeah, it has the reverse here. Now you want to be sure that you can reverse on your sewing machine. I remember at one point I actually went out and I bought an industrial sewing machine, and I thought I needed an industrial sewing machine, but I did not. And then I realized that my industrial sewing machine did not do reverse, but thank God I sold it off and I went on my merry way, right? As a beginner, you don't need to go out and, no, I was going to say spend big bucks. I spend big bucks for this, but I think nowadays machines are more reasonably priced. You can get something for a better price than I would have gotten back in the day. We're talking about something that's easy to string, to fill your bobbin, something that has zigzag, or you can upgrade from zigzag to all the different stitching like I have here, because sometimes the different stitch come in appropriate or come in handy, because you can use different decorative stitch to camouflage stuff when you are trying to do stuff. Like generally I say, if you have to join fabric to make a sheet, for example, never join it in the middle. Have a strip in the middle and then join to the side, and where your join is, you can put a decorative stitch on there and nobody will be the wiser, right? It will just look like that's the design, it's a style, right? And so yeah, that's my second baby sewing machine. And then yeah, I have this other one, the third one. Now let's just put this over here. And yeah, I have my instruction book. See how it looks, guys? After 20 years, I think it's probably about 23, going 23 years now. And not to mention this one is over 30 years old. This one I actually bought. It's from Sears. Sears no longer exists here in Canada, but yeah, it's from Sears. It's a Kenmore. I saw it in the thrift store. I didn't need a sewing machine, but I wanted it, so I bought it because it was only $19.99, my friends. And it is a good sewing machine. My main problem with this sewing machine is that I think the way you thread the needle is unnecessarily complicated. You have to go and then go through here, and you have to go around through here, and then yeah, it's unnecessarily complicated. But I also got the book with it, right? And so if you're going to buy something from a thrift store, it is good if you can get the book with it. If you can't, and it's a great price that you don't want to miss out on, then maybe you can just research it online, because you can always find like lots of information online. This one I rarely use. It does, see the presser foot here, see how high it goes? Now let's look at this one. That is something that comes in very handy if you are like, check this one out. This is where it goes, right? And this one here is, and then it goes higher. So the height of this one is similar to this one. This is a very good feature on a sewing machine. Yeah, this one also has a collar that you can remove. It also has buttonhole feature, and it does have the tension here that you can do different tensions, and it has a different length stitch, and it does do zigzag. Doesn't have all the different stitch like my Janome has, but yeah, the one drawback with this baby, it is compact. It has its case, but the one drawback with it is I'm going to tell you exactly what it's a Kenmore model 1937, right? It is usable. It's a good sewing machine, but as a beginner, you don't want to frustrate yourself. So you want to get something that's easy to thread. If you have any questions, please go ahead and drop them in the comments below. And if you got value from today's lesson, go ahead and hit subscribe, and remember to turn on that bell notification. Hit all so you won't miss out on any upcoming videos, because I can't wait to connect with you again, guys, in this space. I feel so at home, and I hope you feel at home here with me too. You take care now. I will see you again soon.